Today we are running a very fast design process and constantly building and testing and making a way through work by processing several steps repeatedly and bringing a closer look to success in the end goal. We can do this quickly and easily with the help of prototyping in Figma. So what is prototyping? And what is meant by prototyping in Figma? We will discuss everything you need to know about. So hey everyone and welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. You are already watching Simplilearn and today we bring you this informative video about prototyping in Figma. Before we begin, if these are the videos you like to watch, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified. And if you are a tech geek, here is a brain teaser for you. A prototyping model starts with what analysis? Is it data, requirement, dummy system, or model? Let us know your answer below and get a heart from Simplilearn. Without any further delay, let's get started with the session. Now let's take a quick look at the agendas first. First, we will start by understanding what is Figma and then what prototyping is. Moving forward, we will discuss how prototyping works in Figma. Followed with, we will see how prototyping is useful. So let's understand what is Figma. Figma is a great tool for prototyping in UI and UX design that allows you to create an interactive flow and that allows users to interact with your design. Prototyping is important for different reasons, setting the workflow for the new users and examine and getting feedback from users. So now we will see what is prototyping. Prototyping is important for many reasons and you can examine new users' workflow. Prototyping is what allows designers to design. In the era of digital products, prototyping is the interactions between the users and the interface. Prototyping is the process of how the final product works, and this allows the product team to test their design. After understanding what is Figma and prototyping, we will see how prototyping works in Figma. So the first one is we can add prototype flows, add interaction, fix position, add overflow scrolling, and how to present and share prototype. So the first one is add prototype flows. In the Figma file, you can have one or more than one prototype flows on each page and they should have their starting point and unique name. Select the first frame you want to appear in your flow and then click the add icon right to the flow starting point. And after adding, you can rename the flow by clicking on the name input and can add a description by using the point by clicking the delete icon next to the flow starting point. And the next one is add interaction. Interactions are used to build a prototype and can be used to show a different behavior, a pattern of navigation, and outcomes. And they work by connecting two different layers and then we'll examine how these two layers will interact with each other by adding animations, act, and triggers. Interactions can be simple and easy, but sometimes it's more complex too, as animated elements move and change their properties. Interactions can be done in 3 steps: instant interaction, animated interactions, and the smart animated interaction. So the first one is instant interaction. Use instant interaction animation to let the action to be taken and placed without movement or effect. It will be helpful to navigate between the pages or model. Example, navigation between the pages. With an instant animation, you can navigate by just tapping a button. The next one is animated interaction. Use animations to add movements in interaction that helps move in, move out, slide in, slide out, etc. Use different features that are available. And the last one is smart animated. Use smart animations to examine matching layers on different frames and animate their differences. These differences can include a change in color, size, and position. Fixed position. Fix the position of an element in the prototype so that it will easy to stay in the same place while scrolling. And it is helpful for the element that wish to be in the view. Example, navigation for top and bottom, configure the design panel set. The next one is add overflow scrolling. It allows scrolling through each frame inside the prototype. It is very helpful for prototyping components or UI region that have their own property of scrolling. Example, menus, table, list, etc. And it is important to have a frame with content overflow while using overflow scrolling. And the next one is how to present and share prototype. First, select the present icon near the top toolbar that presents the prototype. And if there are multiple flows on a single page, switch them between the sidebar. And here comments can be mentioned as notes, tasks, and questions, although you can leave feedback too. Prototyping can be shared by clicking on Shared Prototype in the presentation toolbar. After understanding how prototyping works in Figma, we will see how it is useful. Using prototype is a great method. We can use it in user flows and interaction in advance, idea sharing and improvement. We can get the feedback from the users. And also we can test the users' interactions. And the last one, present your concept to the interested users. You may preview a user's journey and experience with your ideas by creating several flows for your prototype on a single page with Figma's prototyping features. So in this tutorial, we will look at how to create prototyping with Figma. Figma is a powerful design and prototyping tool that you can use for both your UX and UI projects. If you are new to Figma, I recommend you to check out the tutorials I created on how to create mockups in Figma first, which I will link to it in the description below. In this tutorial, we will make some interactive prototype. So we will get started by opening up the Figma file with this wireframe. Here we have few static pages including the home page and the women's category page and the product page. And I will walk you through in this tutorial is how to connect these pages so users can click through just like they would on the real products. So the first thing we want to do is enter the prototype in the Figma. Yeah, and you can do that by clicking on the prototype tab in the top right corner. Now you will notice that nothing really changes except for the content in the right sidebar. Yes, the sidebar. So we will start there. And there are the settings for your prototype. These are the few things you want to change depending on your device or your design. So the first setting that you may want to change here is the device. And device refers to the device that your prototyping is presented in. So in this case, we are designing for the desktop. So we are probably would not want to present these design inside any additional device, I think. So, wait, let me do it in that. Yeah. But if you were designing for mobile instance, it would be nice to show these designs. These designs inside an iPhone. But for our case, we will design it for the desktop. So let me back with the none. Okay. Another setting that we can change is the background color, and this refers to the background color of our prototype that appears where you are presenting the mode or this present mode. So if I open up, present mode here is a top right hand corner, right? So I can see the design here. I can see the design here. There are some few margins, these dark margins on the side that are currently look black, and that because here is the background. Another setting that we can have is the background color, and this refers to the background color of the prototype that will appear in your present mode when you click it in this, and you can present it and you can have that color of the background if you are suppose this is the color of the background that is black, and you can change it. So Yeah, so that if we'll do it as a white color, so it's lot more than a natural, feels like there is not that awkward cut or the sides of the design if it is a black color. So let it be white. So yeah, so now that we have set up our prototype and adjusted the settings, then we can actually start the connecting these different screens. And the way you do it is by just creating the connections. So to create the connection, we will actually have to go here to the home page. Yeah, this is the home page, for instance, right? So, and let's imagine that we want to connect this woman link to the women's category. This is the women's category, right? So page which is on here, like to do that, I would like to click on the women. You will see that the right of the woman there is a little white, this one, there's a little white circle appears, and that's what known as a node. And nodes allow you to connect these links to other pages. So if I click on the node and the white circle, yeah, and I will drag it, 1 minute. Yeah, wait. If I'll drag it, yeah, I can now drag to many other pages in this file. So I can drag to this category page, or I can drag to another page which is further on this file. So if I drag it to the category page of this women, you will see that there is a connection created, right? Wait, it's not created, I think. Let me connect it once more. Yeah, it's connected, right? So there is a line reveal here that shows that there is a there when you click on in the women, see, when you click in the women, it's going to take you to the women category page. And another thing that pop up when I created that connection was a little arrow. Yeah, this one here in the top left, and this is known as the starting frame indicator, and allows this, and all these indicators is which a frame of a prototype on, or which one of these screen will be the first screen that people see when they open their prototype, right? So right now it's set to the home page, home. But if I wanted to change as it, I would just click it on the arrow and drag and then change it to another screen. So in this case, when people open your prototype, they will start on the women category page. But in our case, we actually want users to start on the home page. So I will click that arrow again and drag it back to the home page. Yeah. So now let's create another connection. So currently we are having a connection from the home page to the women's category link, to the women's category page, right? But now let's create a way for users to get back from women's category page to the home page. So what we want to do is just select nice issue, and then you can see the node appear right here. So the right, you will want to click in on that node and drag it over, 1 minute, and drag it over to the home page, so that let me connect it with here. Yeah, so that way, when the users on the same on when the users on the nice shoes logo, it will take them to the back to the home page of the women's category. That will be this one. So before we create more connections here in our own prototype, let's make sure that the connections are already created, are working correctly. So to do that and to preview your prototype, what you do have to do, you have to go to the right of the corner, and there is a play button. So it will open it up. Yeah, right. Present mode. This is known as the present mode, right? And you have already looked at the screen previously, and there is a there is your actual prototype, and this is what you did. You want to share with your users, client, teammates, etc. So in this present mode, there are few things to know. We will see the present mode is just another tab, right, in your Figma file. So if you want to go back to your design, you just click on the tab to the left of you can go, yeah, this one, and to the another tab to the right side, and enter present mode again, and you can do the present mode again, right? And what's really nice about this present mode is that it updates automatically as you update any as you update any of your prototype. Here in the left, this tab here just updates automatically. You don't have to keep opening up a new prototype every time you want to preview something. So in your case, you want to preview all of the connection we just created. So to do that, we just have to click anywhere. So you will see that the little a little rectangle appears overlaying in the women. So, and that's what are known as a hotspot, and that indicates that there is an interactive element that we have to click and we can click on. So if we go ahead and click, as we already clicked on the women elements, we can women, that takes us to the women's category page, and this is the category page, right? Scroll down and this page, check out the content like a normal website, and then we can also want to click again to see if there is any other hotspot in this page. So yeah, so if we click here, we will see there is a hotspot on the logo, which is we know as we created, and that will take us back to the same page if we'll click on that. Yeah, so it's look like both our connections are working correctly, right? Let's create few more. Okay. The next connection we want to make is yeah. Okay. Sorry. The next connection I will want to make is from women's category page, right, to the product page, product details, and where we want to add the connection is here to the button. Suppose button in the top kicks for the women's as a specific product, right? Product name, top kicks for women. So I could just go ahead and select the image and drag the node and bring it over to the product page, right? But what I actually want to do is to make this whole card clickable. So this image here, or this block, and then this title as well as. So to do that, what I want to do is select both the elements here and then hit the Control G. 1 minute. Yeah. On the window. Okay. You have to hit the Control G on the window, and what that does it that will group both the elements together and create one single node for this entire group. So now this whole card is clickable and uses just the rectangle, and now I can take this node, yeah, and this node and drag it to over to the product detail page, right? And we will see that there is a connection now. And now when it go back into previous mode, I will go over to the women page, scroll down, let's wait, yeah. And when we scroll down, and if I click anywhere, yeah, here is the prototype. I will see that the hotspot is for the entire car. So I can go ahead and click that, and that takes it to the product, yeah, product page. This is the product page. So the next thing I want to do is give users way back to the women's category page. So actually I want to include a link right here. So Yes, or connecting that link back to the women's category page. Or to do so that, I will go back to our design file and then I will select this women here by double clicking on that. Yeah, when I select the woman, the selection box or this boundary box is actually pretty large, and I will show you what that means when we go to our prototype. So if I click in on the node and will connect it to the women's category page, I will zoom out. See, yeah, so you can see what when we go back to the prototype, that the selection box is actually the same as our hotspot. Yeah, is actually pretty large, as well as it would be fine for the most cases that prototype fine in this cases, because it's just a couple of pages and we are just linking back and forth. But if you had a more complex prototype where you want to include a link on women's and then another link on a sneakers, that's really wouldn't work. So to fix this and to make this hotspot slightly smaller, what you do, you have to go back to your design file, and then we have just click to drag the selection on women's here. You have to drag it slowly and make sure it only covers the women link. And now when you go back to our prototype, we can click anywhere. You can see that the prototyping, let's wait 1 minute. Yeah, okay, 1 minute. Yeah, actually, yeah, after prototype, we click anywhere. We can see that the hotspot is exactly at the size of the women legs and the sneakers below, right? So last connection that I want to make here is a connection from the product page, this product page, which is product page, which is the page where on the back on the home page. So to do that, I will create a connection here on the logo of nice shoe. Yeah, logo that links back to the home page. So we will go over this design file. Design file is this one. Yeah, I will just select the nice shoe logo, drag it over to the home page. But I'm actually going to show you a trick to speed up this process of creating connections, especially when it comes to navigation element. So what can I do is go to another page, and I can select this element and then simply paste it into another page. So first I will copy this, and now we will notice that when I paste it, it actually pastes the connection as well as see this one, and it keeps this one too, so you have a connection on the women's category page which made before. And we have this new one in the product page, and this is amazing, especially when you are working with things like menus, because when you have menus with 10 different links that you want to do that each page and create more connections, like to do on each one of your link. Instead, you can just copy, and you can copy the entire menu, paste it on the new page, and those connections will already be made. And now we will look at how to edit your prototype. In other words, edit some of the connection that you already made. Yeah. Doing this in Figma is super straightforwarding. All like you have to do is click on one of the connection. So in the first case, the connection from women's to women's category page, this one category page, I will click on that. And now you have a few options or what call interaction details on this specific connection, and there appears a little pop-up here to the right called interactions details. And there are a few things that you can do here is one, you can manually change what screen you're navigating to. So for that, if you are for the instance, I could choose product page instead of women, right? Which I will touch on briefly, but few cool features that Figma has to offer. So first off, animations between the screens. So when I click on this link, and that makes me to the correct, let's make me to the category of women's category page. This is the animation or the transition that happens between these two screens. So right now it's set to instance. So yeah, the animation it sets to instance. So you can see when I click on the women, so instantly it's taking me to the women's category. But I could actually change that to something like dissolve. I want that is instead of but just flashing to the women's category page, there is actually a nice dissolve transitions. Let's click in on this. Yes, this one. That's a dissolve transitions between the screens, and this is just one basic animation style, but Figma has a few more advanced features that are really amazing actually. So if you choose a smart animations, for instance, let's see for the dissolve. Yeah, suddenly it dissolves, right? That effect. And actually if you choose a smart animation, for instance, let's choose, okay, so we set it as a smart animation. Let's play, and if I hit the women, there's a smart animations. For instance, if I hit the women, it will go with the smart animation of instance. And if you can see that some elements start to shift, and that was not very smooth because these were not a lot of common elements from page to page. But if I do something like that, takes so the women page, duplicate that, and then we'll actually make this duplicate. 1 minute. And if I change this, changes to the man, make it a little small, and then pen, repeat, then men to this page, and I will connect this. And if I link men to this new page, and now I preview this, let me connect it with this. And see, it's set to smart animate already. If I preview this, let's preview this one. Here what I looks like is, so as you can see that the line automatically animate. See, and its menu link in the case if it is also gets smaller, I mean that what smart animation can does, that's really basic example. And it gets a lot more complex when you are working with different elements, but it's really a quick way to create transitions between the screen, and it works especially when things like an app where you are pulling up sheets or pop-up. Yeah, Figma offers some amazing features when it comes to animations, and it's really powerful. So I definitely encourage you to play around with some of these features in the interaction details panel. So the next thing I want to talk about here is how to share your prototype. So you might want to share your prototype with a client or a teammate that involved on the project. And to do that in the Figma, it's actually super straightforward. And so the first thing you want to do is you open your present mode. If it is not open, then you can click it on the right side of this one, or otherwise we already opened the prototyping present mode. So you could know that when you open up this tab, you already open, then you have to hit the share prototype. Now you important note that you make sure you are not hitting share from the actual design file, because in this case you had to share a design file, not the prototype. So when you are sharing just prototype, make sure you are not doing it from present mode. So will you go ahead and hit the share, then repeat and hit share prototype, and that gives us a few options, right? So the first option is to invite access. And you can do that by entering email here or here, and just they will get an invitation to the prototype, and they will get open that up with that. That's one way to do it. But the way I actually prefer to share out your prototype is by hitting this copy link option, and then just open copies a link to your clipboard to this prototype that can share out in the message or the personal message, or by email, or by FB or Facebook messages, or really whatever you want. Yeah, but just to mindful that if you are doing this copy link method, I guess you want to make sure that this is set to anyone with a link, because if it's set to only people invited to this file, when someone receiving that links and they are not invited to this file, they may not be able to open it. So if you are sharing out your link, make sure you set it to anyone with a link. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you are interested to learning about more UX or becoming a UX designer, please check out the link below for the UX design, and we will cover the fundamentals of UX design. With this, we have come to the end of this session where we understand the basics of prototyping in Figma, and the continuation of the prototyping in Figma will make it simpler, quicker, and more joyful for designers to convey their ideas. Hope you guys found this session informative. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions that have come about prototyping in Figma, please put them in the comments below, and if you like this video, hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and stay tuned to Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.